Yo guys, welcome. Yep. It's almost time that the new update is coming. Of course, there's a lot of unit coming, and so I do think that I need to finish this before it release. Actually, with the new updates, gonna have a lot of new units, especially on the development. So there are a lot of things for me to actually discuss, and today we're gonna talk about the tier list for the SSR unit. Sorry. So, the previous one takes very, very long for the one video. So I'm trying to make it this one a little bit more, more high speed. So I can make a note out of it, and so yeah, we can start doing with very pretty fast. Just instead of checking one by one like I did in the tank video previously. By the way, there's a lot of SSR units for the attacker, and a spoiler alert is actually a lot of them are actually B to A plus range. It's a lot of them is like freaking good actually. Right, so yeah, first let's start with Freedom. SR Freedom is an S rank, easily S rank, because it has 11.3k attack, pretty solid. 11.3 attack, and then it's 6,000 weapon power, 4 range, plus 10% if you have more range, like 6.6, and also he has a 3,600 AOE that has 3 ammo. So basically, it's maybe if you look at the power, raw power wise, it sounds like an A plus, but the thing is, like, this guy is first of all, it's very cheap to build. You don't actually need it to be SP100 to actually get out a lot of its power, because again, the 6,000, no limitation. Okay, no limitation. This is very important. A lot of the units later on, you will see like a very very high limitation. For example, like they need a morale or something like that. Like Freedom doesn't have that, so it's solid for me. I do think it's a solid S. There's no question around it. It's a solid S. And then we go with another S, and that's just gonna be Casval Gundam. Casval Gundam is like, come on, it's like a 11.5k attack. He has increased accuracy, is a physical attacker, and it's almost have a almost 6,000 attack power on the weapon, like 5,760, and plus 17% range. So that's that's a lot, man. That's a lot. Okay. It's also have 4 range. So basically, it's like a total 9 range. So yeah. It's S, easily S. There you go. Next one's gonna be G3. G3 is like a budget version of Castle Gundam. Basically, it's do almost the same thing. It has actually higher attack, but and also increased accuracy. But the main thing is the attack's only 540, 5040, like 5040. With plus 12% range, and also it has a crit. So I would say it's like an A or low A plus. So depending on how it goes, the list, it might actually go to A, but I also say it's a A plus for now. And then we have the Fuzz, Double Zeta, Enhanced Zeta. Okay. To be honest, I have problem in differentiating them, but I think this one is Fuzz, this one is Double Zeta, this one is Zeta. Okay. So the 3 of them, okay, Fuzz actually is pretty weird, because on the paper it looks like pretty standard, like 13.3k attack, and at higher morale is gonna another 5%, so it's gonna almost 12,000 attack. It has a balance is like 5,004, but 20% crit increase, and crit chance is 10%, and it has the AOE of 3680. So personally, I would say that it's actually, if you go in like a normal case, like you want to be a more general case, I would say it's like pretty A plus, because you can use the AO is not joke, and then this guy can also work as a support. Oh yeah, by the way, these two can also work as a support, like support attacker. These two, right? One is if you put Gato, and the other one you put Kira Yamato, right? So yeah, these two also work as a support, and Double Zeta, so Double Zeta Vaz actually works as a support attacker as well. so that can dish more damage. So I will say it's an A plus again with the utility increase. If you put Asuna, if you ever try to use him in PvP with Asuna, this guy is a monster. Okay, I will say this guy is a monster in PvP. A seriously powerful late game cleaner, and yeah, I will say it's an A plus. Then for the enhanced Zeta and Zeta, basically Zeta is 10k attack plus 5%, so it's gonna be around 11, almost 11. And then it's a Mega Cannon, 6k in Mega Cannon, and also the enhanced Zeta is also have the 6k attack. It can actually reach almost 12,000 on the almost level of Fuzz. So the thing is, like, the Mega Cannon has a limitation of it needs to be, you know, tension max of higher. Okay, so you're gonna put it on here. Yeah, it's gonna be A, not really A plus. Depending on how you use it, it could be an A plus. But personally, the AOE and the versatility of the double Zeta is, especially in higher bulk of the Fuzz, is actually really helping it a lot. I do think so. It's like that's the case. So yeah, it could be here, to be honest. Depends on the pilot. Asuna could be here, right? Not so, yeah, it's around here. But I will say, if this is here, then it's around here. Okay, so it's like this. I do think I have to pull down G3 a little bit. It has high attack, of course, but the weapon with the that accuracy is kind of bit of a not really my kind of thing. I would say it's a solid A. Okay, so the next one we're gonna talk about is Nightingale. Nightingale is, I will say, it's almost an S, but it has one problem. Okay, it has an 11.3 attack, and also it's like the weapon amazing 5520. But here's the problem: it needs to be a low HP, and it only has 3 range. It does have increase, and also 3 almost 4,000 attack AOE. Right, this guy almost 4,000 attack AOE. So I will say it's on here. It's not really S, because the problem is, like, remember that you actually can use it as a support, but again, 3 range, not really the best support you can have for the support attacker. The support attacker, you will want to at least to have 4 range. Okay, so it can dish a lot of damage. So I'll say it on here. It's very good. I'll say it's a budget high new Gundam. Budget UR high new Gundam. Okay, not the budget tank high new. So it's about A plus. If you play it right, it actually can deal a lot of damage. But again, the requirement to be low HP is kind of holding it back a little bit. So I would say it's A plus, very high A plus. Okay. Then next we're gonna have a Hiakushiki. Fortunately, as much as I earlier video says that Hiakushiki was great to actually SP 100. That was in the early time of the game, right? But along the time, now we got to explore more units. There are more units that can be played, offered, and I would say Hiakushiki falls down quite hard, to be honest. Unless you want to do it the Zeta state, but other than that, it really fall down pretty hard, right? So Hiakushiki is like only 11.3k. It has any beam, but the clay bazooka is like only like 4 something. I think the clay bazooka. Let me check on the background bit. Clay bazooka is like only 4,560. Okay. It does have even lower attack than the G3, so it would be fair to actually put it on B or B plus. I would say it's B actually now. Early games, it was an A plus. Right? I make a video about it, right? But after quite a while, after more reviewing and stuff, the thing is, like, why an early game is very useful, because it can be used in the double Zeta states as well. So that's that value come from. But after you go into the late game and everything, it does fell off pretty hard. I would say it's a B. Still strong unit, but come on, if you have a cast file, it's just like worse fashion. Okay, if G3 is a budget cast file, and this one is even worse fashion of cast file. Okay, so cast file is like, this 3 is actually identical, with cast file taking the top, right? And the good thing about cast file, if you have Gato, put him on cast file, insane damage. Okay, because of the range. Alright, so next, what do we have here? Let me check. Is it Big Zam that I actually write down. So it's gonna be. Wait, I forgot. Oh, it's Epion. I actually like the Epion here. Anyway, maybe I don't need to go with my list first. So let's go with Big Zam first. All right, Big Zam. Okay, pretty solid. Big Zam is like 11.3 attack level, AOE 38, almost 4,000, 4800 range, and plus 15% range crit. So it's pretty solid. I would say it's lower than Hiakushiki's B. Pretty good. Okay. I will tell you, spoiler alert, there is nothing in C of D. Seriously, nothing in this one. Is at least B. All of them at least high B. Okay. And then we're gonna go with, of course, my favorite Full Bayan Gundam. Full Bayan is almost S tier. There's one big problem with this guy. Okay, it's when it's on space, it's S. Like this guy has almost 13,000 attack, a dedicated pilot to it, right? And then the damage is like 520. Like the attack is 520, and range plus 15% with range, and that's pretty insane, right? The problem with Full Bayan is when it's not in space, it's A plus. So it's on ground, it's like only two movement, right? So I would say, and ESFS tag easily can get pilots easily. So I would say around here. Personally, I would say Full Bayan is much better unit than Nightingale, even though it's mostly a single target, but it has a higher damage for single target. I would say it's here. Full Bayan is here. Nightingale is second. I would say something like this. Yeah, you see the pattern now. Like most of it are actually very high. G-Quax B. I mean, it's pretty standard, to be honest. It's a good starting Gundam to have, because they give it you for free, right? So yeah, that's that. The attacks, I don't think the attacks quite high actually. I really like 11.8. It's almost 11.8. If I'm not mistaken, it's almost 11.8. So it has 5 movement. Yeah, 11.8, and the attacks value for 2 with crit. I would say some B plus, but I mean, I would say it's B, high B. Again with Machu, I would say B. It's good on early games, but later on you will find a little bit of better Gundams out there. So yeah, we still have a long way to go. So next we gonna say Oberon, B plus. Okay, you might not be with me on this one with Oberon. The thing about Oberon is I do think it has some weird limitations. It has a 11.4k attack, fall movement. Fall movement is a bit limitation. 5/160 attack weapon with 5% crit melee and crit damage. So the 5% crit is actually a little bit limiting factor there, and the range is like 4/5. So it's kind of have a split split personality out there. So yeah, I would say it's like B plus. It's solid B plus. With a purple pilot, it could go to A again, but we have someone else who actually take its role already, and that's gonna be Destiny Impulse. Destiny Impulse is solid A plus, almost as I would say. Destiny Impulse is attack is high, even higher than Oberon. It's 11.7. Increase another 15% and high morale, and the base of the crit with melee is like 5 to 8T, right? So I think it's NAS. I think it's here. I would say it's a NAS. It's too strong, to be honest. It's very high potential, and when you get its full potential, it's freaking insane, man. Compared to Oberon, it's like this guy's a juice up Oberon in a very crazy way. The thing is, like, we do not have a very good melee. Do we have melee model? Oh no, we have Master Asia now. So yeah, this guy's a NES. If we have Master Asia and NES, we're not just like an A plus. Yeah, on this. Let's put here. Okay, the A plus is too many now. Okay. Then we gonna talk about this one is B, it's almost C. Okay, I said this. There is no C. Okay, the thing is, Justice. Okay, you can use it in a lot of in some condition, this guy is a B plus. Okay, but if we compare it in general idea, this guy is a C. The reason is so freaking stupid that it has split scaling. That's you not. First of all, it has a really low, and an attack's okay, like 11.4k, but it has movement 5, and they are each like only 2000, 32. Others like 36 and above, and the range is only like 4-5 melee, and also you have some range. I would say C. I'm really sorry with a C, but the SR version is actually a little bit better with a B. Because it's but the attack is pretty low, to be honest. The SR version has a lower attack, but it has 6000 attack. So I would say it's B. So a B plus. Sorry. This one is a B plus. Yeah, it's not Oberon, but lower than Oberon. I would say Oberon is higher because of more consistency. Yeah. Then we have finished on as B. The only thing you use it is for some of the stages down there. Even there, you can still use Master Asia. So. Attack is pretty standard for Phoenix Gundam, and then the 4680 plus 50% based on HP at a higher HP, only for range. It doesn't stand out that much, I would say, compared to Hiakushiki. Let me check how much damage does Hiakushiki have. Wait. Hiakushiki has a 4560, so it's actually basically almost the same like Hiakushiki. I will be lying. Yeah, so it's around that level. Maybe here. Yeah, it's on this level. Definitely higher than Big Zam. Big Zam has a AOE, but this one has some utility move. So you know what? This four not much different. I will say that. Okay. Then we have let's see who is B. Patulia, I haven't talked about it, so oh yeah, Amatsu. Okay, when the game starts, Amatsu is a solid S. Okay, 11.8 attack, almost 12,000, 5 moves, 560. It only have 3 range, but it's special with 10% crit, and also it has a like a very strong AOE with 4,200. It's an A plus, but I'll say an S. I will go like this. Like Amatsu is more like okay. The base damage is low. Okay, it has higher attack, but the damage is like only like Hey, wait. The attack's 5-1 or 4-1. Let me check on Amatsu on the background a bit. So Amatsu's has a 5-160, so it's gonna be make him a. He's a solid ass. Okay, so we're gonna put down Destiny down a bit. Destiny boss down, so we can put Amatsu there. Amatsu is like solid ass even until now. So yeah, that's that. Then we have Epion. Okay, Epion is very pilot dependent. I would say it's like a high B plus actually if you standard, but if you have a muscle Asia, it's gonna be A plus. Sorry. It has the beam power is like 5-4, pretty good actually. It attack standard and 5 movement, and it has innate crit damage. That's a very important part. So it should be around here, like around these two. But if you get a good pilot for it with the high critical, the guy is an A, solid A, but mostly it's like B plus. So it's almost great, like almost great. If only has a higher crit rate, it will be great because every crit is innate on it. But the thing is like this: if you put a Master Asia on this guy, it's gonna be A plus. If you don't put Master Asia or the lax with the critical, it's gonna be B plus. So maybe we will need a Miliardo Peacecraft, play character on it to actually go with the whole thing. I'll say lower aim then just to be, because it's once you get a good pilot, it's got a solid A plus. I do think it's solid A plus once you get a good pilot, because the innate critical damage is a bit strong. So yeah, around here. So next, let's go with wing. That side is a B plus. Okay, that side is Epion but worse. Okay, so that's the problem with that side. Okay, The attack's almost the same with the Epion. 5-4 plus 50% melee if you are close, and only 10% crit. So it's pretty much a budget Epion. I won't say budget Epions. They are both expensive, man. So no, Epion's more expensive to make. So yeah, it's gonna be here on here, at B plus level. Again, even if you put Master Asia, you would rather put in Epion. And the last one's gonna be Alton, is A plus, simply because it's a better Epion. So it's so funny, on these 3 units, they are actually basically the same unit, but okay, this guy have 3 range, this guy 3 range, this guy is 4 range, and doesn't even care about the range at all. It doesn't even care of going melee, but it actually uses melee stat, and it's a very high crit. So yeah, finally Alton is like a very strong unit. So it's like a 5-4 attack, plus 10% crit, 20% crit damage, and it has 4 range, but it has higher base attack. So even on the standard pilot, it's still stronger than Epion, so it's like an A plus. But if Epion is the same pilot, it will be comparable between the two, and that side will be always good. Even you get a better pilot, you gotta get A for that side. Like so it's like this. This plays like this. Legend. Simply, it's too strong. The guy's awesome, man. Okay, okay, I'm joking. So Legend is same case with Epion. The problem with Legend is you need an awakened crit pilot, okay, which is not available yet in the game currently as of September 27, 2025, right? We don't have a crit based awakened unit, and so that's the problem with Legend Gundam. It has a pretty hefty attack with 11.4, okay, a little bit higher than standard, but 5040 attack with a crit damage around 20%. It's like I would say A plus. Basically, it's a A plus or high A. I would say high A. If someday the long dream crit, it will be a low S, but for now, it's an A. Again, pilot problem. Some of these units have a very nasty pilot problem. And then we have a Dragon's like B plus. Basically, it's a worse version of a Legend Gundam. The thing is like this. It has lower attack, I think. Only by 11.3 attack, but the range is 504 or same. Right? So basically, when you compare it to the Legend Gundam, Legend Gundam has a slightly higher attack, right? And then the crit is almost the same. So it's like I do feel like it's almost the same level, to be honest. It would be unfair to put it there. So it's like something here. The problem with the Goon Strike is let me check on. I do think it's the ability first. The Goon Strike. Let me check on it. So the Goon Strike with the Dragoon system is actually using the farther you are from the opponent. It's like but only 4 range, right? On the other hand, if we have a Legend Gundam is like same 4 range. It's actually is also critical. So so 20% critical. Okay, so Legend Gundam has higher potential on the critical and crit damage. So when it's on base, if you have a awakened critical pilot, it's gonna go easily here. But this one is like not really much. It's basically just B plus. So you don't actually got much increase. Even if you find a good pilot, so it's gonna be B plus for now. You can just put Charles normal on this guy, and then he could roll with it. But because Charles doesn't really have an innate critical, so I would say Legend is higher because it has higher potential than the Goon. Okay. Then we gonna go with the Nightingale. This guy is so bit strong, man. This guy is a nasty. Okay, I would say high A plus for now. Because we don't know how to SP 100 the pilot. If we can SP 100 the pilot, the guy's simply S. But now it's like a middle of the. I would say around here. I mean lower A plus. The reason is like it being held back by the pilot. The pilot's pretty good. Don't get me wrong, the pilot's pretty good. But unless we know how good the SP handle of the SL pilot, SSL pilot, then gonna be a huge difference there. So yeah, actually it's pretty good. It is a solid A plus actually. Then we have Gay Mark. Alright, Gay Mark is like again similar with Legend Gundam, so be around here. But I do think like Gay Mark has a higher base damage on the weapon. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Just now is this three is almost similar, but again, Gay Mark actually has the highest damage among them. But yeah, the Goon has the lowest attack weapon power. Gay Mark has the highest. But the problem with Gay Mark itself, it's actually again pilot problem for Gay Mark, and the problem is also the low HP requirement. So it would be around here, right? I would say it's still better than the Strike Dragoon because of the base damage is higher, and also I think the attack is the same, so it's just base damage higher. So, but if there's a crit awaken pilot, it could be higher. But I will say that much higher. If we compare here, Legend is the one gonna be benefit a lot from awaken crit pilot. So I will say on this. I'll say on this. Yeah. No, it looks like a pretty balanced thing currently. Then we're gonna have Barbatos is A or B. I would say A. My problem with Barbatos is actually the limitation again. I'm not really a fan of it, but we cannot deny the 6,000 attacks, and it's like a symbol like plus 12% at close range, right? So it's an A. I would say if I put the fuzz and I'll put the double zeros here, this guy's here, right? I would say here. On baseline, this is what it looks like, right? We have the morale melee pilot currently, so it's already on a good position. I would say it's much stronger here on here, I guess, so stronger than these two. But again, Epion could be here if you use muscle ratio, okay? Alright. So next, Musha, very strong. It's like it has only 11.3, but it has an on equip, just like Oberon. It has, but the thing is like this. It requires you to have a low HP to actually dish out its maximum power, like below 50%, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, below 50%, and you're gonna have increased HP and attack. So it has a crit, so I would say it's like an A plus actually. Maybe around here in the middle. Like the thing is like this tree has better than him. It's like I would say. Yeah, it should be around the level of a Nightingale. The thing is like this, but lower because it doesn't have an AOE. I don't really like the limitations on this. You have to play very. If you can actually play it very well, there is someday a pilot that, like a Char, the current Char, that no, the pilot is the same. Pilot can change. But he has 3 movement innate, so yeah, it's about an A plus. A plus, still lower than these two, but it's solid A plus. If you play around its power, you can go actually to S. It's very strong, okay? So it's gonna be like A plus. Definitely higher than the other 3, but yeah, just getting there is a bit troublesome, I think. Muscle Gundam should be around here, similar with Epion. It's basically also an Epion, but physical. Well, Epion is a beam. But the thing is that it has an AOE, and there's a 5/4 crit. The crit is like 30%. So I would say baseline it was the highest of this wall, but it's a melee. So it's gonna be a bit of trouble in trying to use it. So I would say a little bit below the Legend Gundam. It's very strong again. If you have a Master Ashes here. Without Master Asia, it's still on here, okay? It could be a gone A plus. Then we have is an S tier. Okay, here's the thing. First of all, I'm not biased with either rebuild. Okay, I don't actually like the series, but the design is cool. I can say you that. About the aerial, it actually has a standard attack, but 400 range, 5 mobility, and here's the thing: the 5400 it requires max morale, right? But its second attack is only 400 points difference, right? So it's a very, very, very versatile unit. You cannot deny that it's such a versatile unit. I would say it's low S. Also, the secondary attack has a crit. So yeah. It's just you can get someone with a high awaken for you if you want to play with the crit, or you want to play with the max power. You can use someone with the morale and also range, right? So it's a low. Also, it's such a good support attacker. It's such a good support. It has a high damage, high range. It can be put with Suletta, Asuna. It's an S. It's an S. Low S, I would say the lowest of the S, right? But it's still an S still, right? So next, Alpha Tauri, these two we haven't talked about it. We skip. Aseloth B, it's A. I think it's B plus. The thing with Aseloth is it's actually pretty good. It opened up a little bit more of way how to play it. It's a very, very pilot dependent because you need a critical. So Aseloth Dimachimento is like it has a 5160 attack with a crit damage increase. So I would say it's B plus among the crit. I would say it's the highest actually. But if it Algi is gonna be a solid A because Algi is such a unique pilot that has a false step, which guarantees you to step without a kill. It's gonna make you heal. So depends. If you use standard pilot, it's gonna be. If you use Algimedes, it's a solid A. If you use any critical pilot, it's also a solid A. So I would say it's like let's go with A. Let's go with A, right? So next one is it's a B plus. I think. Let me check on Psycho Zaku. So it actually has a very high attack. No, I'm joking. It's only have 11.2. It's very bad with the terrain. It's like a worse version of Full Bayan. I do think so. The barrels, it has a barrels low, force 20. And also the beam bazooka is quite okay, 5.1 with 4 range and increased accuracy. I would say it's like on here, I guess. It's an A or a B plus. I have problem here with Zaku. Zaku is really like, okay, if you consider the AOE and Full Bayan is here, it should be on A plus actually. It's weird. I know it's such a weird unit, but it can work as a support. I'm sorry, so it's gonna be A plus. It's also free. I think let me check on the game once more, just to make myself a little bit more sure about this. I mean, this unit is like pretty weird to be honest. Like, the farther you are, this is only 4 range, and but it has. So I remember why I don't really like it. It's the forward movement. It has to be used with its own pilot. So A plus, A plus. Around that. I'll say around that. The pilot limitation seems like here, but if you have used the pilot, really not that good. But if you put the units pilot here, it's actually the movement is a bit of a problem, but for movement, but it's an attacker with a very strong AOE actually, 4,200. I also put it here. It's an A plus. Never mind, it's an A plus. I don't care if too many A plus of them, because it's an attacker anyway. Mostly are good. Okay, except this guy. So finally, New Gundam. New Gundam is a very weird unit. It only have like 11.3k attack. It increased accuracy and evasion. Also has a range beam block by 40%. Pretty insane. 5160 range crit. And so the problem now will be around A plus. So here, if one day there is a crit awakened pilot. This guy is here. Simply S tier. But now currently, I'm sorry, there's no awakened crit pilot. I think is Camille awakened crit? I don't know. I don't remember with Camille be done. Seriously, and I need to check on Camille be done. Yeah, wait, it's Camille. Yeah, Camille is really Zeta based. We need an SSR pilot with the awakened, so it could be around here. But now it's like here, I guess. So a lot of them is A plus. So I have to say that a lot of these units are actually very strong. I mean, if you see even in B plus, it's actually getting strong, and the higher it goes, it's just very strong. And most difference here is just maybe around limitations, then terrain, and also the versatility. So the difference between S and A plus and A is sometimes just their limitation and versatility instead of raw power. Okay, so one of them is definitely going up with the raw power, but versatility and all those stuff is like really taken into account on this one. Again, so many attackers in the game, they need to have a more niche, and that's why the reason why I have put some of them in S tier. For example, like this tree is basically a semi-support, right? They can be used by a support pilot. Amatsu is there just for pure raw power, and also it's just such a good unit with the AoE, strong, very strong AoE. And Full Bayan is like an S actually, but because of the limitation of terrain, it goes down, right? And same happened with Zaku. Zaku is a limitation of terrain, so it cannot go here. It could be high here, but here it goes. I mean, with the terrain limitation, it should be around A plus. I'm sorry, it's around A. It's very high A. Okay, should be around it. Yeah, it looks more better now. And then maybe that's right here. So, yeah, it looks better like now, like here, right? So yeah, basically this one to up is a very some limitation. So I will say that starting from B, so it's starting good. A is solid unit. A plus and S not much different unless the limitation and stuff. So yeah, that's all for me today. Let me know what you think about these pilots, whether these units, whether you kind of agree with this list. Yeah, I might be biased on certain units. I try to be not to. I mean, I put Ariel here, man. I'm not really into the series, but yeah, I do things like Ariel rebuild is such a strong and versatile unit, and maybe it's like your priority if you want to. So yeah, that's all for me today. Again, let me know what you think. I saw this video take quite a long time to actually make. I have to do research before making video. As usually I just go down with the with the video, right? But now because it's so many of these units, so yeah, I would really appreciate if you don't forget to like and subscribe, maybe share it. And so yeah, see you next time. Get ready for the anniversary, half anniversary. Bye bye.